Welcome to my channel. She was the strongest woman in the room, the one who never broke, never begged, never bent. But that night, alone on the cold bathroom floor, she cried like a child who had lost everything. And the reason she cried will change the way you look at your own life forever. Stay with me till the end because this story is not just about her. It's about you. Her name was Isla. She was 29 years old, and from the outside, her life looked like a dream painted in gold. She had a good job at a big company. She had a small apartment with a window that opened toward the sunrise. She had friends who called her strong. She had family who called her successful. She had a smile that never seemed to leave her face. People used to say, "Isla, you are so lucky. You have everything." And she would smile and nod because that is what strong people do. They nod, they smile, they carry the weight quietly. But nobody knew what was hiding behind that smile. Nobody knew that every morning before she opened her laptop, she sat on the edge of her bed for 2 full minutes, just breathing, just trying to convince herself to stand up one more time. Nobody knew that her chest felt heavy, like there was a stone sitting on her heart, and no matter how much she achieved, that stone never moved. She had money, she had position, she had respect, but she did not have peace. And peace, my friend, is the one thing you cannot buy, borrow, or fake. Isla had built her life on one simple rule: never show weakness. When she was a little girl, her father had told her, "The world only respects the strong. If you cry, they will laugh. If you fall, they will step on you. So never fall and never cry." She held onto those words like a shield. When her mother passed away when she was 17, she did not cry at the funeral. She stood tall, held her little brother's hand, and told everyone, "We are okay." When her first love left her 3 days before their wedding, she did not cry. She deleted his number, threw away the ring, and went to work the next morning like nothing had happened. When her best friend spread rumors about her at the office and turned everyone against her, she did not cry. She just worked harder, spoke less, and smiled more. Year after year, she pushed everything down, every pain, every disappointment, every tear that wanted to come out. She locked them in a box inside her heart, and she threw away the key. She thought that was strength. She thought that was survival. But what she did not know is this: a heart is not a warehouse. You cannot keep storing pain inside it forever. One day the box will crack, and when it cracks, everything you buried will come out at once. That night came on a Tuesday. It was nothing special. It was just a normal Tuesday, the kind of day you forget by the weekend. She had come home from work tired but functioning. She had eaten a small dinner alone. She had checked her phone. There were 62 messages from colleagues, 3 from her brother, and none from anyone who really knew her. Not one single message that said, "How are you really?" She put the phone down. She walked to the bathroom to wash her face. She looked in the mirror. And that is when it happened. She saw her own eyes, and for the first time in 12 years, she did not look away. She stared at herself, at the woman she had become, at the tired soul behind the perfect makeup. And a small voice inside her whispered, "Isla, when was the last time you were happy? Not busy, not successful, not proud, just happy." And she could not answer. She tried to remember. She tried to search her memory for one single moment of real joy in the last 5 years. And she could not find it. Not one. Her knees gave up first. She slid down slowly against the cold tile wall until she was sitting on the bathroom floor. And then, for the first time since she was 17 years old, Isla cried. Not a small cry. Not a quiet tear rolling down her cheek. She cried like a storm. She cried for the little girl who lost her mother and was not allowed to grieve. She cried for the young woman who was left at the altar and had to pretend it did not break her. She cried for every night she had smiled when she wanted to scream. She cried for every dream she had killed because it did not fit into her father's definition of strong. She cried for every person she had said yes to when her whole soul was screaming no. She cried for hours. And here is the strange thing, my friend. As she cried, she did not feel weaker. She felt lighter. Every tear that fell was like a small stone leaving her heart. She had spent her whole life believing that crying was defeat. But that night on that cold floor, she discovered a truth that most people never learn. Crying is not weakness. Crying is your soul cleaning itself. It is your heart making space for something new. When the sun came up the next morning, Isla was still sitting on the bathroom floor. Her eyes were swollen. Her voice was gone, but something inside her had shifted. She stood up slowly, walked to the mirror, and looked at herself again. This time she did not see a failure. She did not see a broken woman. She saw a survivor. She saw someone who had carried the weight of the world in silence for 12 long years and had finally put it down. That day, Isla did something she had never done before. She called her office and said, "I need a week off." She did not explain. She did not apologize. She just said it. And then she made a list on a small piece of paper. It was a strange list. It did not have goals or tasks or targets. It had things like watch the sunrise, call my brother and really listen, eat something slowly, say no to one thing today, forgive one person even if they never asked, forgive yourself. She spent that week doing small things. Simple things, things that had no price and no reward and no audience. She walked in the park in the morning. She read a book that had been sitting on her shelf for 3 years. She cooked her mother's old recipe and cried again while eating it, but this time the tears were warm. She called an old friend she had lost touch with and said, "I am sorry I disappeared. I was drowning and I did not know how to ask for help." Her friend cried too. It turned out she had been drowning in her own quiet way for years. Slowly, day by day, Isla started to build a new kind of life. Not louder, not bigger, just truer. She still worked hard, but she stopped working herself to the bone to prove something to people who were not even watching. She still smiled, but only when she meant it. She learned to say no without a long explanation. She learned to say, "I am not okay today," without feeling ashamed. She learned that the strongest people in the world are not the ones who never cry. The strongest people are the ones who cry, wipe their face, and choose to keep going anyway. Months later, a younger woman at her office came to her, eyes red, hands shaking, whispering, "Isla, I don't know how you do it. You always seem so calm, so strong. I feel like I am falling apart. What is your secret?" And Isla smiled, a real smile this time, and she took the girl's hand and said something she wished someone had told her 10 years earlier. She said, "My secret is that I fell apart too, on a bathroom floor on a Tuesday when nobody was watching. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because that is the night I stopped pretending. And the moment you stop pretending is the moment you actually start living. Do not be afraid to cry, my dear. Tears are not the end of your strength. They are the beginning of it." Now let me ask you something, my friend, the one who is listening right now, the one who looks fine on the outside but is tired on the inside. When was the last time you allowed yourself to feel? When was the last time you let a tear fall without calling yourself weak? When was the last time you asked yourself honestly, "Am I actually okay?" You do not have to carry everything alone. You do not have to smile through every storm. You do not have to be strong every single second of every single day. The world lied to you when it told you that crying is a sign of a broken person. Crying is a sign of a human person, a living person, a person whose heart still works. So if today you feel like Isla felt on that Tuesday night, please listen to me carefully. Let yourself feel it. Sit with the pain. Cry if you need to cry. Scream into a pillow if you need to. Then wash your face, drink some water, and remember this. Every great life has a bathroom floor moment. Every strong person has a night they thought they would not survive. And the ones who came out on the other side did not come out because they were tougher than you. They came out because they finally stopped running from themselves. Your bathroom floor moment is not the end of your story. It is the plot twist. It is the turning point. It is the night your real life quietly begins. So the next time someone asks you why she cried, you will know the answer. She cried because she was finally free. She cried because the mask fell. She cried because the girl inside her had been waiting 12 long years for someone to finally say, "It's okay. You can put the weight down now." And now, my friend, I am saying it to you. You can put the weight down now. Your new life is